There are moments in history when a single man looks so deeply into the human mind that what he finds there seems almost divine or dangerous. In the quiet heart of Switzerland, such a man lived. His name was Carl Jung, explorer of dreams, interpreter of symbols, and cartographer of the soul. Among his many discoveries, the shadow, the enigma, the collective unconscious, Jung once hinted at something stranger, something he called the perilous revelation. It began, or so the story goes, with a visitor. In his private notes, Jung named him only Dr. K. Dr. K was not sick, he was brilliant, a psychiatrist himself, calm, elegant, and burdened with a peculiar complaint. He told Jung, "I know people too well." Jung was intrigued. He listened, observed, and soon realized this man could read people in a way that defied logic. He could sense what others felt, but more than that, he could see the architecture of their emotions, where a wound began, what fear hid behind pride, what love lay behind anger. It was as if Dr. K could trace the circuitry of the human heart. Jung wrote in his private margin, "This man perceives the emotional source code of others, and with precision could rewrite it." And that was when Jung began to shape his most unnerving idea, that there exists a rare kind of empath, one who combines feeling with foresight, compassion with calculation. He called them quietly strategic empaths. You might recognize them today. Jung believed these minds most often appeared among the INTJ and INFJ types, those whose intuition runs deep beneath the surface, those who read patterns in everything, dreams, symbols, faces, silence. The INFJ, he said, feels the world as though it were music, layered and alive. The INTJ, he said, maps it, seeing not only what it is, but what it could be. Together, these two types embody the strange duality of the strategic empath, the heart that understands and the mind that foresees. Imagine standing before another human being and perceiving them not just as flesh and bone, but as a living constellation of memories, fears and longings, and knowing, instinctively, how to move any one of those stars. That is both power and peril. Jung saw that such people live in tension between creation and corruption. Used with kindness, this insight could heal, comfort, and transform. Used without conscience, it could control, manipulate, and destroy. He warned that these rare empaths walk a razor's edge between wisdom and madness, between the healer and the puppeteer. In his private notebooks, Jung outlined 4 paths such souls might follow. The overwhelmed oracle, consumed by emotion, lost in the suffering of others. The benevolent manipulator, those whose care masks a hunger to be indispensable. The shadow architect, fully aware of their influence and unafraid to use it. And the sovereign empath, who sees everything but touches nothing without consent, the one who has learned the sacred art of restraint. But when historians searched Jung's writings, something strange emerged. There was no Dr. K, no medical record, no journal entry in his official archives. It seems the man never existed, at least not in an ordinary way. Perhaps Dr. K was an invention, a figure Jung created to speak to something deeper, an archetype, a mirror of Jung's own fears, that to truly understand the human mind is to flirt with the temptation to rule it. If we see Dr. K as symbol, not man, then this story becomes not a case study, but a warning, a myth about empathy and power. Because here is the truth. Every person who sees deeply into others, every INFJ and every INTJ who feels that peculiar pull to understand, must face the same moral question. Will you use your insight to heal or to influence? To see another's inner world is a sacred act, like holding a glass sculpture in your hands. Too much force and it breaks, too much fascination and you begin to shape it in your own image. Jung's final writings make his stance clear. He believed that the rarest, most evolved minds are those who can perceive deeply without the need to control, to see the architecture of a soul and let it stand. He called these people sovereigns of empathy, those who hold great power yet rule with compassion. And he left us with one final line, a kind of benediction whispered through time. See deeply, but do not interfere, for sight without restraint is tyranny. But sight with compassion, that is the beginning of healing.